talk a little bit about what we kind of talk about internally is we call them the Chicago Bulls or Bulls Cap robbers. These robbers are responsible for a series of offenses over the last 2 to 3 months within the cities of Garland, Mesquite, and Dallas. In particular, they have robbed Auto Zone locations. In each of these circumstances, they've used weapons, and most recently, they've used long rifles or assault weapons. On June 17th at about 9 p.m., the Auto Zone located in the 9700 block of Plano Road was robbed. I mentioned that there's been a series of robberies. The FBI Violent Crime Task Force, which has members of the Dallas Police Department, are part of that out of our robbery unit, has been providing information to the patrol stations to pay attention to their auto zones. Northeast had resources observing this auto zone. The officer observed 2 suspects enter the location and begin robbing the location. Both of these suspects were armed with AR type or assault type rifles. This information was broadcast. Marked field elements responded to the location. They observed the suspect vehicle occupied by these 2 suspects fleeing the area. The supervisor, there was a sergeant that was the first car behind the suspect vehicle. He attempted to initiate a felony stop. The vehicle sped away. Through this very short chase, the occupants of the motor vehicle fired at the supervisor and striking his motor vehicle. Thankfully, our officer was not injured. None of our officers returned fire. The incident that occurred there when they shot, the suspects, as they were fleeing, actually shot out their back window of their vehicle and fired upon our officer. The suspects were able to get away from the officers momentarily, and they stopped on a street there in Mesquite. They had already fled their vehicle at the time. The officers set up a perimeter. We did a massive search using helicopter and canine resources from the Dallas Police Department, and we were assisted by the FBI and also the Mesquite Police Department. We did not identify the suspects at that time. An intensive investigation is certainly still underway, but immediately following that, and from that investigation, the FBI did make 1 arrest, and it's associated with a series of robberies. As the investigation continued, we identified the 2 suspects responsible for this robbery and shooting at our officer. We made an arrest yesterday. His name is Damian Jones. Mr. Jones is being held at Lou Sterrett on a $1 million bond. We're here today. You want to help me out here with this one, please? To talk about our second suspect. We had information on the whereabouts of Mr. Jones' brother. We'll wait for this to come up. And we executed search warrants. We had our SWAT with us in the last 24 hours and looking for Mr. Cedric Jones. I guess, can we scroll that up a little bit? Has it got a date of birth on there, Max? No?
David?
Yeah, let me.
That's for Cedric.
I'm sorry, for Cedric. I apologize. 320 of 89, guys. So Cedric Jones is a black male, 320 of 89. Mr. Jones is wanted for aggravated assault on a public servant. We have a bond of $1 million on him. Also, we have Crime Stoppers a reward of up to $5,000, and that would be for the arrest and indictment of Jones. I cover everything we need to cover. I'm looking back at the robbery, guys. We get everything we got there? Max, I get everything? I get everything, Max? All right, go ahead, Ray.
Were there total of auto zones?
20.
20 in the last.
Majority are.
Yeah, that's right.
Majority are.
Over 20.
Over 20.
Yes, sir.
And these 2 are brothers. We believe these 2 were the same ones committing all those.
You know, we know that they're participating in a series of robberies, and individually we don't know each of their individual involvement and how they involved in all those robberies. There is a crew, and we believe that the Jones brothers are part of this crew. What we're focusing on right now is their activities last Tuesday. We know that they're responsible for the robbery last Tuesday, and we know they're responsible for shooting our officer.
How concerned are we it's going to happen again? And how dangerous is this guy?
You know, right now, about the series of robberies is stopped. We believe the investigative efforts has disrupted that series of robberies, Ray. Now, in terms of propensity for danger, we're concerned. The public should be concerned that Cedric is still out there. He has been armed with a long rifle. He has demonstrated violence in this series of robberies, and he certainly fired upon Dallas police officers. So, yes. We've put an officer safety bulletin out, so that's where we're going. Yes, Julie.
About the Chicago Bulls, were they wearing Bulls?
It's kind of like a hat.
Oh, okay.
And that's just, you know, there's just, when you see that with some frequency, law enforcement has a tendency to label it, just so we can kind of categorize it, so. Any other questions? All right, guys, thanks.